Ok.
Sì.
Stiamo registrando? No?
Sì? Ok, ciao.
Ok, ciao Chuck, stiamo online. Ciao a tutti gli amici del tavolo italiano.
Okay, so we're still working on this whole intro thing, but we had to experiment a little bit. So ciao e benvenuti.
Ciao, welcome to il tavolo italiano.
So that's what happens when you have a couple of amateurs like us. We're working on it. By the first of the year, we're going to have something special, right, Flavio?
Esattamente. Oggi dobbiamo ringraziare un po' di persone.
Sì.
Vai, ciao.
Oh, sì. E grazie mille per tutte le persone that responded to us last week on 10 Minutes with Carlo e Flavio. I wanted to read a few of the responses. Grazie mille Walter Tosolini, who said, Vero, Fatri poi è un classico per gli errori, false friends. I also wanted to say thank you to Sai67, who said, Ottimo video interessante, bravissimi. And then we actually had a compliment and a question from Amanda R., right? And Amanda R. writes, and I'll read this in English and I'll let Flavio repeat it in Italian. She put, beautiful video, guys. Keep it up. I like you a lot. Should you do a video or could you do a video where you would talk about the way to use the verb have been? I have a lot of doubts on this. Thank you. So in Italiano, Flavio?
Sì, Amanda ci ha chiesto di spiegare il verbo have been e effettivamente in realtà la domanda è un po' particolare, nel senso che forse Amanda intendeva chiedere quando si usa have been. Have been in realtà è il passato prossimo del verbo to be, del verbo essere e quindi per esempio in italiano sarebbe io sono stato. So, for example, I have been in the United States 4 times in my life. So I have been in Italy, I have been in Rome twice. So io sono stato in Italia, a Roma 2 volte, eccetera. È corretto, Chuck?
Oh, esattamente. Bellissimo. So, for those of us that maybe didn't keep up with everything he said, although I think he spoke slow enough, you should be able to keep up with Flavio. But so he was explaining have been is not, I mean, while it is a verb, it's not the what am I thinking of the word? It's not the infinitive of the verb. It's the passato prossimo or the present perfect of the verb to be in English or essere in Italiano. So when you're thinking about how do I use the verb have been, really what you're saying is how do I use the verb to be in the present perfect, or how do I use it in the passato prossimo? See? And by the way, so real quick, conjugating it, just like most tenses in English, to be in the passato prossimo è facile, molto molto facile. I have been, you have been, he or she has been, we have been, you have been, they have been. So just think of to be in the passato prossimo e tutte e have been, eccetto lui o lei, and then it's has been. Okay? Facile, non è vero? Okay, now we were going to be talking about false friends again today. And so, but before we do, I got to compliment you, Flavio. You did very, very good on have been. Per me, io credo che posso vedere che tu hai una bella educazione.
Grazie Chuck, ma forse sei caduto nel primo dei nostri false friends di oggi, che maybe you mean a good instruction, una buona istruzione, perché in inglese education significa in italiano istruzione, mentre in italiano educazione significa good manners, come maleducazione, bad manners. È vero, Chuck? Comunque, ho capito che forse, maybe Chuck, I have to send you an email about this, about education, instruction, so you can stamp it and you can read it all the way you want.
Oh, mamma mia. Okay, you just found our second false friend, Flavio. Because when you send an email, I wouldn't stamp it, I would print it. because stampa or stamp in English actually means francobollo in Italia. A stamp is what we use to put una busta, an envelope, in the mail, to mail. Stampare is to print in English. So if you were to send me an email, I wouldn't put a stamp on it. That would be like putting it in the mail. Instead, I would print the email. But as much as I got to say thank you, Flavio, I really appreciate the offer for sending me the email. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but I have to admit I don't need the email because you're right. That was a mistake on my part on educazione. I remember now because I read, ho letto un articolo in un magazzino su questo false friend.
Attenzione, Chuck, ecco un altro false friend. Sono dappertutto, false friends are wherever. Because tu devi dire magazine, non magazzino, probabilmente, perché magazine significa rivista, significa un giornale che esce una volta ogni settimana o una volta ogni mese, mentre invece magazzino, in italiano, means warehouse, in English. Magazzino means warehouse, e magazine rivista. Quindi no, devi stare più attento, insomma, anche se in realtà io lo so, ma I don't like really magazines. I didn't read a lot of magazines because I found them come si dice, noisy to read, about some noisy.
Noisy. He found our fourth false friend. They were noisy perché, Flavio, noisy in inglese significa in italiano rumoroso. Rumore. Noise. To us, this is noise. Okay? So, ma noioso in inglese significa boring. So you could say, mi non piace queste riviste perché io penso che loro sono boring. I think they're boring. Okay, so allora, okay, so in summary, okay, or in conclusion, we have 4 false friends today, and the first false friend was educazione, which I made that mistake. Educazione doesn't mean education, it means
instruction. Educazione is good manners.
good manners.
Good manner è educazione, and education è istruzione.
Istruzione, that's right. And then he came back and made the mistake about the stamp. You know, you could stamp it, but a stamp in Italiano is a francobollo. Stampare is the verb, right? Stampare is to print in English. And then I made the mistake about magazzino because I thought that was something you read, but
magazine is rivista. Magazzino is warehouse in English, un magazzino.
False friends.
E l'ultimo invece è noisy, che io pensavo che volesse dire noioso, invece noisy è rumoroso, mentre noioso in inglese si dice just boring.
Exactly. Esatto. Noioso is boring, e noisy e rumoroso. Now, I have one question about noioso. Noioso has to agree with the noun and gender, right? So when I say lui è noioso, but lei è noiosa?
Esattamente, assolutamente sì, bravo Gian.
Grazie. Grazie. And you know, I really, Flavio, I appreciate your help. I love making these videos with you, and I know we're getting very good responses.
Vai.
Flavio e Carlo in 10 minuti is just a little bit to remember, and it's actually improving my Italian. And I want to say thank you very much for your assistance. E grazie mille per tutti. E ricordi, puoi scriverci. You can write us at
il tavolo italiano @gmail.com, or in English
il tavolo italiano or il tavolo italiano at gmail.com. Don't forget to email us. Send us your questions, what you think of the videos. Grazie mille. We'll see you next week. Ciao.
Ciao.